So reading the news, of course, there's enough reason to be pessimistic, but as a long-term oriented company, I think there's a lot of optimism that this is another step forward, and our company is pretty much set for dealing with the complexities that we read in the news.
Every year has its challenges. I'm sure it's the same for 2016, but generally we're optimistic.
Insurance people are, by definition, pessimists. We look at risks and we look at threats. Having said that, from a business point of view, definitely optimistic.
I mean, we have to recognize that it is going to be a volatile year. There's the geopolitics, there's the challenges around slower growth, there's the challenges around emerging market currencies. However, at the same time, it will create investment opportunities.
What we see is that our customers are, moving away from, let's say, products to services and services to solutions. And it also means that they're expecting that we deliver value and they want to keep us accountable for value. They also do not want standalone solutions anymore. They want connected solutions. And the last thing that they want not suppliers, but they want people that stay with them for a very long time. They want partnerships.
Obviously Asia is big, North America is big, Europe is pretty stagnant. This part of the world, Sub-Saharan Africa, opportunities there as well. My focus in Middle East, North Africa, if I look at where are we going to see the growth coming from here, it's either from the Kingdom, from Saudi Arabia, or from the UAE.
So our growth in our company comes from emerging markets, from the growth markets as we call them. We don't call them emerging markets because for us they are already there, they are not emerging. Then we look at Sub-Saharan Africa as a heavy investment of our company, and our biggest region of the company is Asia Pacific.
We feel that the most sustainable growth tends to be, at least in the markets we invest in, which are the growth or emerging markets, tends to be in the consumer sector. So when we look at, FMCG, or we look at healthcare services, or we look at such sectors, they're fairly resilient sectors and continue to do well regardless of the cycle we're in.
While innovation in the old paradigm was innovating the product itself, just a new molecule. And in today's world, it's a combination of the product, the channel, it's about digital, it's about getting the product to the customer, and it's about innovating the entire chain.
Innovation is a major disruptor, but it's also a major competitive edge. We have to recognize that whether in terms of products or services or in terms of business models, innovation is extremely key, and it's happening at a much faster pace, and if you do not keep pace, then increasingly you lose ground.
We innovate with our clients as they innovate, as they introduce new techniques, new products, new risks arise. Cyber was one of those that was brought up earlier. But also we innovate by looking at big data. We have a science team whose focus it is to look at what is the next big thing. What's the Uber of insurance, really?
We believe that, in the past you were innovating around linear axis. It was very much technology driven, that you could potentially move from one segment to the next and you could sort of relive that same technology. Now we believe it's much more around creating total ecosystems. And that means that if you have an innovation, you need to make sure that you apply it from different angles, and that is really beneficial to the customer.
We were talking about volatility globally. It's no different here, and I think there's an added level of complexity around the geopolitics, although again I'd say globally there's a lot of challenges there as well. I think the extra factor as well is around oil and its impact on the region, and what a sustained lower price of oil means in terms of budget, in terms of spending, and that's sort of a question mark, because forming a long-term view on oil prices is a difficult thing to do.
We look at the Middle East as really an opportunity going forward. It's a market that is growing, and it continues to grow even though there are political challenges that we need to look at.
If we take North Africa, will continue to be an area where there's going to be a lot of pressure on the economies in some of those countries is under pressure. Middle East, a little bit more stable, obviously. Saudi and Iran, those discussions going on right now, creating a little bit of noise. But again, sometimes noise is an opportunity for us. We are one of those businesses where time of conflict there's an opportunity for. And then, if nothing else, there is an awareness that is going to be increased, an awareness of the need to ensure.
What we do, of course, always see is that we will be looking at how can we expand, our footprint, and how can we organize our governance around the ambitions that we have and the opportunities that I was just talking about.